I'm pretty sure anyone who's gone to Catholic school can tell you that nuns are scary by themselves. They didn't need to add the pointy teeth or the corpse paint. Just put a yardstick in its hand and you'll be set.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
The Conjuring 2 follows the continued adventures of Ed and Lorraine Warren as they venture to England to help a little girl who's being possessed by an old man, although in this case it might be more than just a standard haunting. I really like how James Wan kind of infuses this very unique visual style in this movie. I feel like it really just makes it stand out all the more. From the very opening scene, I love how he directs the moments that take place in the Amityville house. And, in between filming this and my review for Amityville 2, I found out that they're coming out with another origin movie for that franchise called The Amityville Murders. And I know there's no way in hell this is going to happen, but it would be great if they could get James Wan on board to direct that. I feel like he could really breathe some life into that series after seeing how he's handled the Conjuring and Insidious movies. One huge example of the visual style that I love so much in this movie is this one scene where Ed Warren is interrogating the old man who's possessing the little girl. You can see Ed's face in the foreground and the little girl is in the background, just completely blurry, hard to make out. And as the interrogation is going on, you get this really subtle kind of transformation into the old man and then back again. And it's just this really creepy and awesome scene. I also love some of the scares in this movie from a creative standpoint. Some of my favorite moments are involving this creature called the Crooked Man, and I'm actually impressed by how little CGI they used for him. The first time I saw this movie, I thought that he was completely animated, but he was actually a man in a suit. And as scary as this movie is, it's not completely joyless. The atmosphere isn't constantly doom and gloom. There are some moments where you'll just be spending time with the characters and you'll get these bits of fun and levity, which is essentially how real life is. I mean, I know the world can be a terrible place and life can be harsh, but it can also be really funny at times, and I appreciate how this movie has a grasp of that. Also, the main little girl in this film who gets possessed is a pretty phenomenal actress. I hope that she actually ends up having a future, unlike a lot of child stars out there, because whenever she's speaking as the old man, it is legitimately terrifying, and yet when she's just acting like herself, there is some genuine sympathy you feel for her, and you want to see her make it through this. And for the love of all that is good, I just hope she doesn't become another Corey Feldman. I mean, I'd be perfectly fine with her becoming like a washout drug addict, but the world cannot handle another Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys. Please don't let that happen again. The one complaint that I have about this movie is admittedly a bit of a contradiction. If any of you out there have watched my 0-minute review for this movie, you may recall how much I loved the monster creature effects on display, but when I look at it, I don't feel like it's much of a spoiler to say that the nun eventually shows its true form, and I just feel like they could have gone with a more original design. It just ends up looking like something straight out of a Diablo game. Apparently, this character was based on a demon that takes the form of a baby, which would have been 100 times creepier than just a generic demon with big horns.
Your mommy hates you.
Fuck you! In the end, if you're interested in seeing a fresh spin on the haunted house subgenre with great actors, great directing, and great writing, then The Conjuring 2 comes highly recommended. And as always, I hope you all have a good one.